December 5th, 1945. 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers lifted off from Naval Air Station Fort Lauderdale. Flight 19, 14 men on a routine training mission. By nightfall, all of them had vanished. A rescue plane carrying 13 more men disappeared while searching. 27 people gone, no wreckage, no bodies. This wasn't the first time. This is the Bermuda Triangle, the ocean's most mysterious place. In March 1918, the USS Cyclops, a 542-foot, 165-meter cargo ship carrying over 300 men and 10,000 tons of manganese ore, sailed from Barbados toward Baltimore. The captain sent a message: "Fair weather, all well." The ship never arrived. No SOS, the largest non-combat loss in U.S. naval history. In 1941, 2 of the Cyclops' sister ships vanished along nearly the same route. The area where these and other incidents occurred stretches roughly between Miami, San Juan, and Bermuda, somewhere between 500,000 and 1.5 million square miles, 1.3 million to 3.9 million square kilometers of open ocean. Heavy shipping lanes cut through it constantly. Air traffic crosses it daily. And by the 1960s, it had developed a reputation that would eclipse nearly every maritime mystery in history. The first recorded oddities date back further than most realize. In 1492, Christopher Columbus sailed through these waters on his first voyage to the New World. He wrote in his log about a great flame of fire crashing into the sea one night, probably a meteor. He also noted erratic compass readings. At that time, this region was one of the few places on Earth where true north and magnetic north briefly aligned, which would cause exactly the compass behavior Columbus observed. By 1881 came the story of the Ellen Austin, a British ship that found an abandoned vessel, a ghost ship in the Triangle. Whether embellished or not, these stories rooted the myth long before anyone named it. Carroll A. Deering, 1921. The 5-masted schooner was discovered abandoned off Cape Hatteras in the region known as Diamond Shoals. Although found in good conditions, no crew remained on board. Missing were the ship's log, the crew's personal effects, essential navigational tools, several documents, 2 lifeboats, and both of the vessel's anchors. The modern legend began in 1952 when writer George Sand published Sea Mystery at Our Back Door in Fate magazine. The article compiled disappearances near Florida and hinted at forces beyond explanation. It gave the mystery its first major platform outside dry naval reports. Vincent Gaddis gave it a name in 1964. Writing for Argosy magazine, he called his piece The Deadly Bermuda Triangle. The article linked Flight 19 to other disappearances, creating a pattern where none had been established. Other writers followed. Charles Berlitz's 1974 book sold 20 million copies in 30 languages. Ships and planes, the stories claimed, were vanishing at alarming rates. The theories grew wilder: time warps, magnetic anomalies, Atlantean crystals, aliens. The problem was that almost none of it was true. In 1972, Larry Kusche, a reference librarian at Arizona State University, started getting questions about the Bermuda Triangle. He contacted the Coast Guard, the Air Force, Lloyd's of London. He obtained newspaper microfilm, accident reports, weather records, Navy investigations. What he found was extraordinary, not because ships and planes were mysteriously vanishing, but because they weren't, not at unusual rates. His 1975 book methodically dismantled the legend case by case. The numbers were fabricated through sloppy research. A boat would disappear, get reported, then return to port days later. Nobody followed up. Some incidents attributed to the Triangle occurred hundreds of miles away. Others happened during documented severe weather that writers omitted from their accounts. Flight 19 itself has a straightforward explanation in the Navy's investigation report. Lieutenant Charles Carroll Taylor, the flight leader with about 2,500 flying hours, had recently transferred to Fort Lauderdale. On December 5th, his compass failed. So did his backup. Without working instruments, he made a critical error. He believed he was over the Florida Keys when he was actually over the Bahamas. Taylor thought flying northeast would reach Florida. Instead, he led the squadron away from land. They flew until their fuel ran out. The rescue plane, a PBM Mariner, had a known design flaw. Its flexible fuel lines tended to loosen in rough conditions and leak gasoline. A merchant ship reported seeing a burst of flame and later passed through an oil slick at the exact position and time the mariner disappeared from radar. The plane carried 9.83 tons of aviation fuel. Mid-air explosion? Tragic? Absolutely. Mysterious? Not particularly. When Lloyd's of London was asked in 1975 whether an unusually large number of ships had sunk in the Bermuda Triangle area, their answer was definitive. No, the insurance company, which has detailed records of maritime losses worldwide, found nothing particularly unusual about the region. They don't charge higher premiums for vessels passing through the area. They repeated this finding in 1997, stating that losses occur at the same rate as any other wide expanse of ocean. In 2013, the World Wildlife Fund conducted an exhaustive study identifying the world's 10 most dangerous bodies of water for shipping. They used data from Lloyd's List intelligence database covering global shipping losses from 1999 to 2011, ranking areas by total losses per square kilometer. The Bermuda Triangle didn't make the list. It ranked 12th out of 35 areas in total losses and 22nd in loss density. The U.S. Coast Guard doesn't recognize the Bermuda Triangle as a specific hazard. They've stated repeatedly that the area experiences no unusual number of disappearances. The U.S. Board on Geographic Names doesn't list it as an official location. There's no evidence distinguishing it from other heavily traveled ocean regions. So why do ships and planes go down there at all? Because the ocean is dangerous. The North Atlantic, particularly this section, is swept by hurricanes. The Gulf Stream creates unpredictable currents. A 2013 study suggested that converging storms might generate rogue waves up to 98 feet, 30 meters high, capable of breaking a ship in half. Laboratory simulations confirmed these waves have ship-sinking potential, though there's no evidence they occur specifically in the triangle with any greater frequency. Human error plays a role: navigation mistakes, mechanical failures, bad weather judgment. In the early 20th century, true geographic north and magnetic north briefly aligned in this region, which could have caused navigational errors for compass users. Australian scientist Carl Kruszelnicki explained it plainly in 2017. The triangle covers a huge area, roughly 270,000 square miles, 700,000 square kilometers. It's close to the equator near America, one of the wealthiest parts of the world. Heavy traffic constantly, lots of ships and planes passing through. On a percentage basis, the number of accidents is the same as anywhere else. University of Washington oceanographers did conduct research in the area, deploying synchronized underwater probes to study the region's swirling vortices and ocean mixing patterns. They chose the location precisely because it's scientifically interesting, not because it's supernaturally dangerous. They lost one probe out of 21. Not bad odds for deep-sea research. The Bermuda Triangle exists on maps drawn by storytellers, not scientists. The ocean there is real. The storms are real. The traffic is real. The disappearances are real. But they're no more real, no more frequent, and no more mysterious than anywhere else ships sail and planes fly over deep water far from shore. And don't forget to like and subscribe.